Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today I'd like to speak to you about two important subjects that came on the news. The interesting thing, the important things that it comes on the news, it comes in a very small print. And the reason I think the media does not want you to notice this. Two things caught my eyes recently on the news. Number one is President Trump decided to sign a treaty with the Taliban in Afghanistan so that the American troops can pull out of this country. That sounds very good. And in many ways it is, but it's also not as good as it may be. And the reason is when you sit with somebody, you give that somebody legitimacy. So America can meet with Canada, with China, even with North Korea, because these are sovereign states. But who are Taliban to sit with them and negotiate with them a peace treaty? They are not a state, and they are not people. They are not really people in the sense they are not an ethnic group, because there are many Arabs, there are many European, there are many Asian living there fighting the fight. So the common factor between them is the religion of Islam, but they are from different nations and different race. And therefore, to sit with these people, you are giving them legitimacy to exist. However, on the other hand, there is no other way, because America and the West have been, especially America, is carrying the greatest bill in terms of human lives, the soldiers that they've been killed there, as well as the dollar, the amount of money that has been spent. It's estimated more than $3 trillion. And what do you get out of that? Not much. So I understand President Trump is a businessman, and he is thinking this is waste of money. It's true. But on the other hand, you're going to sit with a bunch of mafia, practically. And these mafiosi people, they will be more than happy to sit with you. That gives them legitimacy to a higher level. But again, once again, there's no other way. I wish from beginning nobody had gone to Afghanistan, and if there are certain targets, the military strike could have done it without putting troops on the ground. But what happened. Anyway, so I wouldn't say it's all failure or all success, but it's about time to come out of this hellhole and leave them alone. If they want to build their country, they can build it. If they want to be free, that's their responsibility. They have to fight for their freedom. If they want to continue in the past, living in the illusion of caliphate, and they want to invade the world and conquer the world, and if they want to do that, that's their business. But if this happen, then at least we know, and the airplane can go there, and they strike particular targets and come back. You don't need to put soldiers on the ground there anymore. So anyway, there it has a level of success, but also it gave legitimacy to these mafia guys, the Taliban. That's number one. Number two, it's actually good news. It's also about President Trump, and it was written in a very small print. I mean, well, it's not small, but I mean, they don't. You can use language to show importance to the subject, and you can use other words to make people actually not interested in that. They may look for something fashionable to check on better, a new dress or a new suit or whatever. That second subject, I feel it's very important, and it's related to the coronavirus. And President Trump, knowing the dire situation in Iran, excuse me, I know it's bad also in China and in Italy, however, also South Korea. However, if you look carefully, South Korea is really paying close attention, sending the military to sanitize markets and public places and testing so many thousands of people so that they can contain the disease quickly. China is taking different approach. It's doing something which is quarantining. They quarantine people by force, putting them like in jail, jail. The two hospitals that they were built in Wuhan, they call them hospital, but practically they are jail to contain people there until either they make it on their own or die. That's the reality of the situation in China, and they don't report the real number of how many people how many people got infected, or how many people died. I have an idea. You can actually multiply whatever they say by 10, and you may get near the real number. So there is a video. I'm going to put the link for that video, and if this video is really authentic and it's from Iran, from the hospitals of Iran, there are body bags with dead people inside them by the tens in one hospital. So if this is true, it means Iran is in a very desperate situation. And what President Trump said or did is he offered help, because he knows very well that South Korea can deal with the problem, Japan can deal with the problem, China even can deal with the problem one way or another. However, Iran cannot. Their equipment is not that sophisticated. They may have rockets and all that stuff, but they are not capable of containing this. And if this goes out of control, it can wipe who knows how much of the population of Iran. So President Trump came out and offered to help Iran. I believe some of his advisors told him to do that, knowing that these many people are dying. He offers help, but he knows quite well also from the advisors that Iran will not accept help. Why? Because Iran looks at the Jews and the Christian as they are the ultimate Satan in the flesh, and therefore they cannot negotiate with Satan and let the people die. What happens here if this is the case, and if these body bags really are dead people in Iran? Imagine one of your loved ones die, and there is a big country with a lot of technology is offering the help, and the leaders or the dictators of this country are not letting the help to come in. Imagine how angry the people will be. That can start a revolution in the Middle East. It will start in Iran, and I feel it will start soon because of that coronavirus, and because they are not containing it and people are dying, and out of pride, because what they have learned 1400 years ago, that the Jews and the Christians are Satan. So they reject that help. Now, when you have a loved one who dies, or never mind a loved one, if a person, his house or her house catches on fire, and the fire trucks come to put the fire out, do these people ask the firefighter if he is a Jewish person, Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, atheist, or they are just happy to see him coming to put the fire out? This, if they think. So, the dictator of Iran, the mullah of Iran, all what he cares about is his image, because he declared that President Trump is Satan, America full of satanic people, it's all satanic except for the Muslim Shiite there, and the Jews also are satanic, and therefore they cannot deal with them, they cannot let them help the dying people. What would the people do? What would their feeling be? They will turn against the government. Everything at this time, it shows that we are at the threshold of huge change. And unfortunately, these people from the Muslim countries still dreaming of the 7th century, when a group of Bedouin managed to invade some areas and conquer it and kept it until then. They refuse that the time has changed, and unless they change, they will be destroyed. It's not that I'm seeking for their destruction, but it will come. One more thing I'd like to to talk about: India. I know that the Indian people have tasted bitter pain from the Muslim invasion. I'm aware of that, not as much as the Indian people, excuse me, but I read that they are turning the table on the Muslim, and they are beating them up and killing them. I know they did a lot of evil to India and to Indian people. They did a lot of evil in North Africa and in Egypt to my people. And I know the anger, but I suggest not to deal with them on that level. Don't go down to their level of revenge and destruction. You can give them a choice. You came from Arabia or wherever you came from, your ancestors came to attack us and chase us into the mountains. Please leave. Or leave this religion. Leave or leave their religion and stay with us as one of us. But don't use violence. Thank you very much. We are happy to listen to your comments.